here we go again. Hello, everybody. Seeing
Hello,
what my
hello.
phone says. How's everybody doing?
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing. It is the 4th of July. For those of you that aren't Canadian, there may be fireworks in the background for some of us as we play. I guess those of you that aren't Canadian, or I actually have some European viewers, so them as well.
Those of you that live in Stagger, those might be gunshots.
So we are here again with the current party that has not had any losses. So as usual, we have Shack Saga, Arius, Ozzy, and Jax. No, I mean Jack, not Jax. You are not a dude
There are
with two metal
multiple of
arms.
him?
Yes, there are two Jacks.
Dang it, not again.
All right. So who remembers where we left off last? Who'd like to do our recap?
I'll do it.
Okay.
If no one else wants it.
Go for it.
So last time we woke up in Muckmack. We woke up to the sound of many goblins who were cheering, or we didn't really know they were cheering at first, but we were kind of scared. We were going to get stabbed in our sleep. But we woke up and then we went outside and we realized that they were all just cheering for us because word had spread we were going to go slay the dogs. So we got a quick breakfast. We ended up getting some goblin jerky for the road. We ran into Muck one last time before we left, and he warned us not to die or not to come back if we failed because shit would go crazy. So we weren't really worried about that, but we were about to head out, but then I recalled a story that I told to the party about someone who fled the military that kind of fits this guy description. So we had that in mind when we were pursuing him. And on our way there, we encountered a lion that Ozzy accidentally took us in the wrong way to. But we smartly just snuck our way by him and got back on track. And then we ran into the sound of dogs in the distance, and Jack decided to do a solo recon mission there. And he spotted our target and noticed there was quite a few dogs. So we were kind of pretty certain we couldn't sneak up on this guy. So we just decided to do a front assault and get as close as we can and try and take this guy out. So we did. And I think only Ozzy he got knocked unconscious, which is, I think, his claim to fame now. He's just going to get knocked unconscious every fight.
It's a session, let's be honest.
And then Shuksaga actually had the clever idea of using a necklace for him by just tapping his hand on it. So we figured that could be done. And then I decided to do non-lethal damage on our Houndmaster to try and get some last information from him. And what was his name? Drustin.
Mm-hmm.
Drustin. And we found out that he
More
actually...
so Drustin.
Drustin. Sir Drustin of the Hounds. We found out he actually could speak to dogs, and that's why he set them free. And I kind of felt bad for him, so I was kind of contemplating trying to figure a way to let him go, but I don't think there was any way because we've already promised his head. So I decided to make a promise to him to release some hounds at the military camp, which I later found out he apparently worships a god that will resurrect him if I fail in my promise. So that's kind of my top priority right now.
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit. I believe the god is Delamrian. Delamrian. If I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of found his stash. That was kind of a lot of money. I don't remember how much, but it was a lot. And we went back to the goblins. We got a bonus for finishing our mission. And then we went back to camp and we got some another little bonus for claiming that we killed him and proving that we killed Drustin. And we actually got more money for killing the dogs than him, which was kind of, again, sad. And I'm kind of like, fuck this guy. I'm going to free some dogs on these guys. So, and then we were promised some vacation time.
Yep.
That's where we left off.
Yep, you guys had the remainder of your time in vacation time. Would When we left off, you guys were discussing splitting up the loot and where you were going to go for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Actually, before we do that, can
Yes.
I roll for my HP for level 2?
certainly, let's have everybody who leveled roll me their hit points. You just click the hit point button, it'll roll it automatically.
Will it actually?
Yep.
I'm always scared of that button.
All right, you get to
Oh,
re-roll on a 1 or a 2. Shaq Saga, is Shaq Saga's hit dice a D10 or a D8? Oh, never mind. You rolled it's a D8. You rolled a 2. You can re-roll as well. Arius, you may re-roll as well. I'll go ahead and give that to you. Why not? You did roll a 2, but I'll give you the re-roll. I'd like you guys not to die. Would you guys, for the love of God, please stop rolling shit? Ozzy, you have to keep the 4.
Oh no!
Roll again.
Show you.
You can roll. No, you don't get to keep that, Ozzy. You stole that from somebody else. All right.
Sure, I
All right,
did.
Ozzy, I'll take it.
Arius and Shaq's reroll.
Alright.
Come on. All right,
Ooh.
Arius, you get to keep that. And Shaq's one more reroll. Roll something that's not a 2. Thank you. It all worked out in the end for everybody except Ozzy, who's going to fall to the ground again next combat.
I'm good at hit points.
So you just add that number to your current hit point?
Yes.
Okay.
We're back at full, right?
So
Yeah, you should be back at full. You'll be back at full
Okay.
for leveling, and you'll have plenty of time to rest here. So there's no worry about not making it back to full HP.
That's good because I put myself back at full, and then I was like, I should probably make sure that we were back at full before I did that.
Yep. Anytime you level, you will regain. So some other rules for my game. Anytime you level, you'll regain your HP to full. Anytime you rest, you're gaining back your current level plus your con modifier in hit points. Whenever you rest for at least 8 hours, or something that gives you the equivalent of 8 hours rest.
So I forgot from last session. You said that that the camp here they do buy the gems, or we need to go to town to sell those.
The camp will. No, the camp will, I believe, not exchange gems. I don't think I had specific. I don't think I had specific thoughts on the gem thing. But the camp does prefer not to use gems in these particular cases. So if you wanted to exchange the gems for money, you would have to take it elsewhere. But they will buy back some of the items that you have on you.
Oh well, I don't think we got anything besides a single bedroll.
I don't believe so either. So
So
What about my unfinished dog painting? How much would that go for on the market?
you could try to sell it. That's going to be a social interaction there, just like all
No,
of
no.
selling paintings.
That painting's mine.
Right. My first piece of art for this group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last.
And Ryan didn't get first dibs on it.
Yeah, it was an unfinished dog painting. My guy wasn't gonna finish it.
I don't plan on finishing it either, but I want to use it.
All right, so do you want to do the money splitting here? Do you want to take a trip somewhere and do the money splitting?
well, I mean, the majority of it is gems, so we were already planning to go to a town.
Okay. Do you want to hit up a
With
town?
this
Do you want to make a
vacation.
travel to one of the cities? You guys have about 2 weeks, so there's quite a bit of distance you can go. I mean, you guys aren't getting your next mission until the 21st, and it is currently the 3rd. So,
Well, we picked up a map. Somebody picked up a map last session, or
yes,
is that something that we're doing?
you have
right
you have a global map, or I'm sorry, you have a map of the country, so you can see all the things you can see on the map currently in front of you.
now? Okay, and there's like a nearby road we can follow, so we don't get lost. Going to one of these cities or towns.
Unfortunately, if you look at the map, you'll notice there are some roads, but the roads are currently only to the west of the mountains. They are not to the east of the mountains. So you are going to, like, if you wanted to travel to anywhere else, you will be kind of on the open plains doing so. The the central government of RA4, because the military's had most of the control over the east side of the mountain range, has basically stopped the production of roads from reaching into that area. In addition, the range to pass around Akunsant is heavily defended with hill giants, and they've been like pretty aggressive in stopping anyone from getting through.
Okay. Well, what main city are we able to go to?
So you can go to Krizizen if you wanted to. You can try to travel through the mountains if you wanted to, but the hill giant thing might cause a small problem getting that way. And Krizizen is the little town south of here. It is about a 50-mile journey.
And we're gonna accidentally end up in Steve Below and die. But
This is the bad Steve Alo too.
This is the bad Stevelo. No one has reverted the timeline to Gimbal existing again. So.
but yeah, I think we should go to Chris Eisen, guys.
Would I be able to, or any of us, estimate how long that would take to get there?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a. If anybody's got survival, they can give me a survival to try to identify.
No one has survival.
Oh,
Useless.
right.
I do, Tom.
So you guys can also hire a guide if you wanted to get you there. That is, yeah. You figure that's got to be some number of days, hours.
Rolled a
It's
2
some
on
number.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, some number. All right.
Stupid
There.
Tom.
Jack gets the wild thing. Let me do some math here real quick. Let's see hold on. Shit. It is not working. 6 times. So it is basically a 77-hour journey without stops, roughly. You can actually. I know I'm doing this math. I think wrong. No, maybe I'm right. Sorry, I don't remember. I think I am right though. No, okay, I'm off by a bit. So you're looking at roughly 20 hours overland.
Okay, so probably like
It's a
days
good
of
hike,
travel
but
or
you
something.
could make it in one day if you spent like the entire day walking, but you'd all probably be very tired. So 2 days is a pretty reasonable estimate. If you guys took a rest in between.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather go to the city.
All right. I would
Unless
just
you
let
guys
everyone
would
know
prefer
that
to.
I really want to spend at least 4 or 5 days in camp at the end of our vacation, if possible.
For you.
Okay, so you would like to get back by around the 17th?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's up to the party. If they're like don't want to, I would suggest if there's like a closer by place we could change the gems, that would reasonably be comparable, or it would be only this major city that would give us like the best price for these or something.
You can go to other places, but you guys would know this for a fact. You guys would know this tidbit. There could be other military groups in those towns that might have a little more claim to those towns, and they might not like that you're potentially infringing on their territory. So if you ask around, you can get some details. But if you want to go to a town, you really need to like spend a little bit of time getting some information about where to go and what kind of spaces are, safe spots and versus places where people might be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, and my main thing for the reasoning of going to to the city instead of a town is that there might be more than one person willing to buy gems, so that way we can search around for good prices.
Yeah, I also kind of want to go there just because I kind of want to buy a few things and probably maybe only available in a big city. So
Yeah.
I'll just relay to the party if it's okay if we're back by at least 4 days left of our vacation back in the military.
Well, so how long did they give us? 2 weeks or 1 week or?
You have a little over 2 weeks. So again, it is the 3rd right now. It is like near the end of the day on the 3rd, and you guys have until the 21st.
So, yeah, I mean, essentially,
Remember,
my plan.
2 weeks is 10 days. By the way, just for point of reference, when you look at the calendar, there are 10 days to a week.
Yeah.
So there is still a good amount of time.
Should be 20 days then, or?
Well, again, it's the 3rd right now. They gave you 21 days from the day that you first got given your mission, or they gave you 2 weeks from the time that you first got given your mission.
Okay.
So,
You said something that-
so we would assume 4 days of travel, and we're probably going to want to spend. I mean, I don't see why we really would want to spend more than 2 days in the town. So that'd be like 6 days.
Okay.
Unless something comes
Is of
up.
vacation rate? Vacation?
What about vacation? Okay,
Oh,
you're
it's cutting out your first words again.
Yep.
20 or 10 days?
So no, you have right now. So again, this is where that calendar is super important. Today is the 3rd. The 21st is the day you have to be back by. So you have 16 days of vacation, basically. From the 4th to the 10th, that's 6 days.
There,
I guess
it's in
7 days.
the campaign chat, so everyone remembers.
Thank you.
I see it.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys have a lot of time here. And again, you don't have to wait until the end of your vacation time, till the end of the time, but you do have to be available by the 21st.
All right, guys. So essentially, the plan for the town is that we want to get the best price we can for the gems, so that we get the most currency out of them, and then we also wanted to see if we could set up an alcohol trade route with the Goblin Village. So those were the 2 things I have intended for the city. I don't know if you guys are interested in anything else.
I'll kind of go to a hushed tone and say, well, there is the matter of the dogs. Wasn't sure who was going to help me with that.
I'm going to look around, like, is there anybody who could overhear this?
Not at the moment, no. The camp is pretty empty right now. A lot of the teams are off on missions, and a lot of the ones that are not on missions are like dealing with other things around the camp, trying to take care of things. And you
This
guys
sounds
kinda
like
stuck
something
away.
that we could talk about on the way there.
Sounds good.
Doesn't seem like, even with nobody around, doesn't seem like a...
All right, so
So real quick, before we go any further, Ryan, you may want to bring down your sensitivity some more, or put yourself on push to talk.
Okay. Why, are you hearing stuff in the background?
No, you're cutting out really bad. So you want to bring your sensitivity to the left so that you'll activate more often.
Okay. I brought it pretty far to the left.
Yeah, you may have to go to
I'll,
push to talk. If there's just enough background noise, it can actually interfere with the mic's turn on time.
push it a little further to the left and
Okay.
go and close my door. That might have been what it was.
Well, it's possible. So we'll see as this goes. So
Does it sound better, or?
it is better so
now.
far.
I think it was probably the fan, because the fan's probably it's right behind my
Okay. All right. So are you guys heading to Krazizen now then, or do you guys want to rest for the evening here?
well,
what time of day is it?
It is pretty late in the day.
Yeah, after we got back from the mission, we should sleep here for a day. Yeah.
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'll split up the actual gold pieces we have, leaving the gems in the inventory. So let me go ahead and do that real quick.
Sure.
So it looks like we have 106 gold pieces. So that's divided by 5.
Hmm.
So that'd be like 21 apiece.
So let's see.
Of one.
Yeah, 21 apiece, and then the party fund will have 22 in it.
Yep.
Right.
So let me add
Right.
that to my sheet.
Spending money.
Mm-hmm.
So we each get 2 silver pieces, because we had 10. And then we each get 1 copper piece, because we had 5.
Very important. Thank you. I'll take all the copper I can
So-
get.
Okay. So party fund. Erase the gold pieces from the sheet here. So now we just have the gems.
Sounds good.
And lots of them.
Get my random encounter dice all ready.
Oh no.
All right, guys. And then we wanted to check how much a Northfinder was real quick.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No problem. I can
So
let you know in just a sec.
I will have minor things I want to do before I go to sleep too.
Okay.
That's
So a wayfinder or a northfinder in this case.
Well, yeah, you said it was a Northfinder.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm using it so you can find it if you need to look up the other details about it. A northfinder is 450 gold.
Okay, so we do not have the gold for that right now.
Okay. They do. It
Good
is one of
God.
those things that you are able to, when you get to higher fame, acquire. But in the meantime, it'll be something that they will allow you to check out. But right now, you are not eligible to check it out.
All right, guys. So, anything else we want to do before we go to sleep?
Yes.
I have minor things. Well, first of all, would I know it's like frowned upon for people to be walking around late at night in the camp, or is this like everyone's cool with each other because we're all military?
Yeah, everybody's cool with each other because you're all military. Like, they assume if you do anything terrible, then they're going to know about it. So,
Okay.
theoretically, like, they have guards posted
Theoretically.
and everything else. So they expect that, things are going to kind of police themselves as long as...
Are there restricted areas that we're not allowed into, or? are we
Yes,
allowed-
for example, you are not allowed into the Stormlord's tent without being brought in there by somebody who is allowed in the Stormlord's tent. Like, for example, if somebody just comes up to you and they are not wearing, like, the proper attire, which we'll talk about when you guys run into people of that look, somebody's like, hey, I gotta take you in to see the Stormlord, and they're wearing, like, casual gear, you guys would know, like, don't follow that guy in because he's basically trying to get you killed. You can only go in if you're wearing like the official clothing. Otherwise, you pretty much have free range. I mean, some people will tell you to go away if they don't want you to be around them. Like if they're specifically doing something or whatever, they might push you away. But for the most part, you can. You guys kind of have free roam of the place as long as you're not getting in anybody's way.
So what I want to do is, first of all, I'll offer if anyone wanted to just like come for a walk with me.
Okay, and this is in the
If they
evening,
wanted.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
if they wanted to. But my real purpose is, which I'm not sure if I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing, but out of character, what I'm trying to do is I want to find out exactly where the kennels are and their general location and like how many guards are there. I guess that night I'm just watching. I'm not watching, I'm walking by.
Yep.
And if possible, to locate a vacant tent or a tent with no people in it nearby. If that's possible to do in this night, I will do that.
Certainly. Let me have you go ahead and we'll start with you giving me a perception during the evening.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's pretty rudimentary, so.
There's not a whole lot left to do in this town at night.
All right, so you can find where the kennels are. The kennels are basically north and back here. I will give you a marker here. Let me put something together on here. There is a little tent here. I know it's ugly. Please forgive it. I hate that this is the color this guy did this tent in. And then there are a number of cages. I don't have a good cage. Let me see if I can find a nice cage here. Look. This will matter. Longer cage. Do we have a long cage? Come on. No? Okay. Let's use these. That is way too big. Got some cages here. And many of these cages don't necessarily house one dog. Some of them will house two. Some of them will actually squeeze 3 dogs in on each other.
Okay.
Storm giant sized dogs.
Definitely not storm giant sized dogs. They are not storm dogs.
From my casual walk by, can I see if these are all individually locked or they kind of have those little handle locks? Because dogs can't really open the cages, so I would assume they wouldn't be.
Yeah, in this case,
closed.
And in this case, they just have like a little hinge that locks them. They're not locked in any really big way.
Right. So any humanoid could just open it.
Yeah, they want it to be easy if they need to release the hounds.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect.
So these are the cages that have dogs in them at the moment. Let me throw some dogs in there for effect. No corgos. Will work. I didn't want the cage, but now I've got dogs piled on top of dogs, but that's fine. So what did you roll in that perception? You rolled a 17. So from your perception, you can identify that like the dogs are pretty like covered in bites and scratches. Lots of like patches of fur have been kind of ripped out of them. There's a lot of blood along the floors of the kennels, and there are quite a few empty cages. Drop a few more in here. Kind of an idea. And there is a pair of guards. Oh, they're not that big. Paste. God damn it, I copied that. Now copy it and then traced it. Thank you. And there are a pair of guards that are kind of roaming about this area here, mostly looking at the dogs. They'll like toss some scraps into the dogs periodically, but all in all, you can tell they really could give two shits and a rat's ass about the dogs.
Okay. And with that perception, am I also able to find a nearby tent that's not like with people in it?
Yeah, you can find a small tent. Let me grab that and throw that in here. Like a little tent not far from here.
Right on top of your
Right
head.
around here is the nearest tent you can find.
Okay, and
Drink
what's
that
in this
down a
tent?
little.
Is it just like supplies or just like boxes and stuff like that?
No, this is just one of the regular sleep tents. So there's a few of these like pitched up here and there for people to crash in.
Oh, so people would be in there.
Yes, people could be in there,
Hmm.
but the campsite is a little bit thinner than normal. So you can take a look inside if you want to glimpse inside.
I do.
Okay. So you give me a quick perception into it. All right, and I will give you. It is empty.
Okay. All right. That is all I will be doing tonight.
Okay. Then we will move on to the next morning. You guys, how early do you guys plan to set off? And is there anything you want to see if you can acquire here before you do?
Yeah. So guys, well, obviously we want to go eat breakfast since they give us free food. But yeah. So do we want to use the party fund to buy bedrolls, tents, anything like that? We were talking about how we did
bedroll.
we might want to buy that.
I have a bedroll already, so it's up to you guys.
I also have a bedroll already.
Yeah, I
Well, I
definitely
know
need
you
to
guys-
buy one of those before we left.
Okay.
Mine got eaten by a lion.
And check Saga.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys can head on over to the tent with all the stuff in it. Bedrolls are fairly inexpensive. You can pick up a bedroll for a silver.
Perfect.
Alright. So we'll use the party funds to buy 2 bedrolls
Okay.
for each of the party members.
Now, did you guys take that tent that the dog not Durian, why am I forgetting his name now? It's in my notes.
Lamrian.
That Drustin had.
No, we had that rental tent is what we were using.
Okay, but you guys left his tent behind. Nobody
Yeah, I
didn't-
specifically
I didn't
wrote it
think
on their
about
character sheet, so
No.
I
okay,
don't think so.
just making sure. Are you guys going to take the rental tent, or do you want to get something larger?
Well, yeah. What are the prices of the tents?
So
Since
the
we're gonna
starting
need 'em.
price for a tent like what you currently have is 10 gold. A medium-sized... wait, hold on. I think you guys had a medium-sized tent. Yeah, so you guys had a medium-sized tent. A large tent will cost you 30 gold, and it will house all 4 of you. And then you can buy a pavilion tent, but they're quite expensive at 100 gold.
Okay, and so the medium tent we were using that was enough for 4 people, right?
The medium tent was enough for 2 people.
Okay.
You guys thankfully did not really have to use that tent, so you did not have to experience the discomfort of 2 people having to sleep on the ground outside.
Yeah.
And what are the prices of the single person tents?
The individual tents are 10 gold each.
Okay, so it wouldn't make sense to buy those.
No, not unless you specifically wanted your own like private sleeping space.
Since yeah, it's the same price as the 2-person tent.
Oh no, I misspoke. The 2-person tent is 15 gold. That was a misspeak on my part. So is there 5 gold difference between the two? It's 10, 15, 30, and 100.
All right, guys, let's rent the tent.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you're gonna rent the medium tent?
What we want to rent the large one?
The
one
large
with
one
four
is
people.
not available for your group to rent.
All right, so we want to rent 2 medium tents.
They will allow you to rent 1 medium tent.
Mm,
They do see our party as 4 people, right?
They do indeed see your party as 4 people, and they recommend that you sleep in shifts.
Well, yeah, I guess we would be.
One of you can sleep
Yeah,
outside.
but
So this kind of goes down like this. You get, this is the man speaking to you. You get 1 medium tent, right? One of you should be sleeping. One of you should be sleeping outside of the tent, easy to wake up in the event that something comes at you. The other one should be keeping an eye on things so you don't get killed in the night. So we offer you a 2-person tent. You have no need for a 4-person tent, because if the 4 of you are all falling asleep in the middle of the wilderness, you're all probably going to wake up dead.
We wouldn't wake up if we were dead.
If you're being eaten by a dire lion, you're waking up dead. You wake up, you can feel it eating the rest of your body, and you scream until you are no longer conscious. I would call that waking up dead, wouldn't you? The Dwarven man, kind of strokes his beard proudly.
hmm.
I mean,
Outsmarted on this one,
theoretically.
gang.
Now, would you like your medium tent?
Yes.
All right. He requisitions you your medium tent.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you'll be needing?
Yeah, I was
How about a gnat
Everything-
in my lemonade? Is that something you'll want?
Oh.
Sucks too.
So is everything here just for rent, or
No, there's all kinds of stuff here to buy. There's just certain items that they deem your group worthy of being able to rent out.
because I was gonna go like a backpack and a few miscellaneous things before we left.
Certainly, you can pick up a backpack. Why am I getting fancy backpacks? I'm looking for a regular ass backpack here.
2 gold pieces.
Yeah, there you go.
Pricing. I didn't know if there was like an upcharge or something.
Nope, no upcharge. Standard flat rate.
Well, put me there.
If you want, you can also buy a used backpack for 1 gold.
I'll pass on the used backpack, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were talking about how we needed a rope before, so I'll check.
Yeah, I was
check
gonna buy some rope too.
Get a rope. Kind of rope you want?
Getting some hemp rope.
Smoke it.
Smoke rope every day.
It's spelled rope wrong. The best.
I'm getting.
I
some
thought you
rope
said that
rope.
I did, and I was super confused. And then I was like, "Wait a minute."
No, I brought it up to look up the different prices for rope, and I spelled rope ROAP. Yeah, spelling skills.
That's PEEL.
All right, so what kind of rope are you picking up? Some hemp, some silk, some spider silk.
Just hemp.
Okay. 1 gold. Anything else you want to pick up while you're here?
I get a water skin. I do have create water, by the way.
Certainly. You guys also can get a standard issue compass. That is an option, by the way, just for clarification. The North Finder is what's pushed on you, but if you're looking around for stuff, you do find a regular compass.
Dwarfinders
that-
was pushed on us.
Does that help with survival or anything?
It does give you a bonus on survival to stop you from getting lost.
Yeah, what's the price?
They are 10 gold.
So, guys, do we want to spend a large portion of the party gold on that?
This is for renting it, right? Is it
No,
like
this
renting
is for
indefinitely?
purchase. Any gold you're
Oh,
paying right
purchase.
now is for purchase.
I think it's worth it.
Good.
All right.
All right, so you
I'll
guys.
hand it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to what was Ryan's dude's name?
Ozzy.
Ozzy. I'll hand it over to Ozzy since he's the direction finder.
This was
The
just
official designated direction finder.
this was just a compass, right?
Yes. And it is pretty
Oh,
dinged
yeah.
up. It is very clear that this is somebody else's compass.
And so Ozzy, you were buying the rope yourself, or were we buying that with the party fund and just giving you it?
Gonna buy it myself, but hope we can use the party fund.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what the party fund's there for. Is buying
Oh,
stuff
but
to
sure.
benefit the party. All right, so I'll erase one more gold from the party fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then after that, we just need to get rations.
Yep.
So we can. So what do you guys think? Just spend the rest of the party fund on rations.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
How much were those?
There are a couple of options, actually. So let's get into rations here for a sec. So, rations. Get down to rations. All right, so you guys can pick up the base rations, which are 5 silver pieces each. You can also pick up bigger rations. Like you can get orc size rations, which are a gold apiece. Let me give you some of the details.
We're not exactly rich, so
Okay.
let's go with the cheap option for right now.
Okay, and if one of you is experienced at cooking, they do have like meat and kind of build your own stuff for travel purposes.
Not particularly.
I'm no cook.
Okay.
All right, so if we want to leave the party fund with pretty much a gold left, we could each grab 4 rations.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right. So party fund is almost eliminated, but we got like an emergency gold, and then we'll add in. Everybody add 4 rations to your sheet.
Yep.
Excellent. You guys are well prepared.
What season is it?
So seasons are a bit interesting because there aren't necessarily seasons in this part of the world. This is pretty much always a fairly temperate climate. The world doesn't have a lot of variance when you get more towards the point at which the sun is centered over it. So you're not really going to experience seasons. You might experience some rain periodically. But rain is relatively uncommon in these parts. It probably rains less than, once every couple of weeks.
So winter is probably not necessary.
No, what is like a winter blanket you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really necessary. Maybe if you guys made a trip to Frigus or up in the mountains, that might be a bigger issue. All right, anything else before you guys head out?
Nope, just finishing up my last minute purchases.
All right. And then you're off to Chris Isaacs.
Yeah, and Ozzy will make a survival, and I'll make a perception.
Yep.
Anyone else who wants to make a perception, feel free.
And then you'll get lost, and then combat will happen, and
We got our compass now. We're good.
yep.
Yeah. What is that bonus? Is it a +1 to
Ooh.
survival?
Ozzy, that I'll allow that to be your survival, but you need to change that to your survival bonus. That's actually 28, right? Because you rolled perception.
But I guess survival.
You did roll survivor. You did roll the survival beforehand. What were you saying, Tom? Sorry.
How much does that add to Ozzy's survival? The
Plus
compass is
2.
+1. +2.
Yep.
Okay, so 17 to survival.
Yep.
Ryan, add the +2 to your temporary.
That's what I forgot to open up. I knew there was something I was forgetting to open up. Dag nabbit. Random encounter charts. Alright, that is... Ooh, fun. Fun.
Believe you.
So, you guys are roaming about, and let's see how they do on their perception. They catch you first. You guys got a 26, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, by the way, for the record, I'm going to implement something a little different in this game than the way 3.5 normally works. One of the things that I've never really liked about 3.5 is that you pick somebody who's doing the action and somebody who's assisting. So it's always going to be considered the highest roll is the one that you take, plus the bonus if the assister assisted. Because I don't really necessarily feel like if somebody's doing in this particular case, if Ozzy does a 26 here, and he's assisting Jack, he's actually done a better job looking around than Jack has. So it clearly doesn't make sense that Jack would just get a +2 here. It makes more sense that Ozzy's doing the looking around, and Jack has been pointing out some things that Ozzy might be missing along the way.
So wait, let me get this clear. So does that mean that we're taking the highest one and adding +2 if someone else beat the check, or is it just if the assister does better than the original looker, then we take that roll instead?
No, you are taking the highest number and you are adding 2.
Adding 2 if the other person passed 15, right?
Correct. That is correct. Okay, so you guys will notice before they notice you, thankfully, a very important thing to catch. Get you guys onto this screen and get this other Ozzy character off of this screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so show me in the far left, assuming that left is north and right is south, your traveling formation. I'm going to throw your characters on there right now. All right. You guys cannot be in ahead of this line that I'm drawing here. Okay, good. Okay.
And we're headed towards the other.
You are, yeah. You're heading to the right. This is the north, and this is the south. I didn't make square grids because I don't think about that until it's time for me to execute it. I also don't understand why my grid cuts out part of the way through, but okay.
So we're on the left-hand side?
Okay, you guys are not holding hands. What is going on over here?
All right, I'll move back.
Huh?
All right.
So who is this? This is...
Because I see...
Yeah, I thought this would be okay without names, and I think this is a bit of a problem without name tags.
Well, I'm the dude with the bow. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I have no idea who
Because
anyone
on the
else is.
left-hand side,
But Ozzy and Shax look a little bit alike. So
well, the reason I
can
ask
tell
is
the
because
difference.
over
can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
on the right-hand side, I'm seeing Sheksaga.
Yeah,
Jack
it's
over there.
Shax. Right now I have Shax, Ozzy, and Arius, and then Jax is off to the side of the group.
On the left-hand side, the small versions of us, and then the right-hand side, 3 of us.
I see no versions of you. I don't understand why you
none
see.
on the right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I see Sheksaga, Arius, and Jack on the right-hand side, like all the way to the not near the edge, but close to the edge. That's why I was so confused.
I would like to remind you that I don't like when people do heroin or LSD shortly before participating in the game. It really makes it hard for me to maintain their level of immersion.
Did not do that today. Thank you.
You can prove to me with a picture.
Yep, I sure am.
I don't disbelieve you. There's a lot of weird shit that happens in Roll20. So I'm not exactly surprised by it. But what you see off in the distance, and I need... Whoop, that's... Oh, I don't have an image for those yet. Okay. Hang on one sec. I thought I had pulled down those, but I guess not. Ooh, that is a pretty good image. I like this one the best, but it's a premium image. Ugh. No. I wish I had one of the actual minis. I would just take a picture of it. There we go. Save image. Fuck is a WebP image? That's a PNG. I clearly see that this is a PNG. Why are you trying to save this shit as something different? You know what? God damn it, internet. You are really pissing me off. I want to put it here.
Let's just say we killed these things and get the XP.
Nope. This is very important. Highly important. Alright, there we go. Must be some fucking new Firefox shit. Alright, and these are size right.
Displacer beasts.
Yep, you're all dead. Roll new characters right now. I don't want to waste my time. Come on, enlarge just slightly. Thank you. So there's 2. Oh, let me set these first real quick. That was.
Look terrifying.
What is this beautiful thing?
These are. Actually, so you guys would know because you've seen these before in the trials. These are Crenshaw.
We saw them in the trial?
Yeah. So I forget who it was that fought the Crenshaw.
Might have been me. I killed something in one hit. I don't remember what it was.
It could also have been Baal. I think actually it was Baal that had faced them. But you see like a little group of Crenshaw. And they are doing their own thing. They are... Let's figure out what they're doing here, shall we? They are eating.
Oh, they're already full? Sounds good.
They are never quite full. But they are distracted.
I don't know if you guys want to sneak past these things, but few of them.
Out of character, would we know how hardy these creatures are? Like, are they pretty average beasts that we'd be expected to go toe to toe with, or are we kind of afraid of these?
Pretty much, we should try and avoid anything that we can. Let's avoid these.
All right, check.
Okay, so you guys are gonna attempt to move around them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me have you guys give me a move, or I'm sorry, not a move silently. Yeah, because this is 3.5.
Stealth.
What do you want us to do? A listen check next?
Yep.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Ooh.
All right. So
we got a 21.
So you guys try to, in this particular, no, you don't stealth as a group, you stealth as individuals. It would be great if you could stealth as a group.
Hey, I was just clarifying.
Yep, everybody climb on my back. Oh.
It's all good. I have an 18 strength.
All right, so unfortunately you guys are moving, and you get a reasonable distance away. I'll actually move them as a group away from where you are. And let's see here. There's a chance.
They have a negative because they're focused on their meal.
They do have a negative. I'm going to roll for 3 of them because 3 of them have a shot. Okay. Give me a perception.
All right.
Everybody should give me a perception here. Yep.
All right.
Ooh.
Whew.
All right. So, Jack, you and Shaq Saga notice that one of them happens to glance at you, and it seems to be kind of moving away from the rest of the pack. The rest of them, though, are like, digging into this delicious, delicious meal. And they kind of close in the gap that the one that's kind of sneaking away.
All right, I'll whisper that it looks like one might be stalking us, but we should continue moving away so that we don't attract the attention of any others.
Yep. So you guys will manage to move away from the rest of the group.
And I'm readying an attack for if this thing comes in. For if the one that's stalking us comes within range.
Okay, so that's going to dramatically slow you down. So your group is going to move 30 feet until this thing comes into your shooting range?
Yeah, I mean, if it's stalking us.
Okay, that is fine. I'm just making sure. That is simply a clarification question. So give me a perception.
Yep.
Since you are specifically watching for it. Right, and let me get its stat block back up since that popped off my screen here. All right, and you just barely managed to make out the top of its fur as it's moving very low through the grass nearby. And it is, I believe that's within proper shooting range, right? 110 feet is bow range.
Let's see. I'm sure it's on here.
Let's group a little bit this way. Cool. Is this here?
Range is 100 feet.
Okay, so let me make sure. Let me see if you got line. All right, so it'll move in 10 more feet. And you get your shot.
All right.
That is, it does not have its dex. That is still just barely not a hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, let me have everybody give me initiative. Actually, forgot to start up some sounds.
Click my dude.
Whoa.
And
Bring up the initiative tracker.
Ah, that's right. I gotta load up my character sheet again.
I can actually do something this time.
I remembered that I have.
And remember to click on yourself before you roll your initiative. Yeah, thank you. Everybody did good. Thank you guys so much. All right, so Ozzy, you are up first.
One that's still coming after us, or?
There's one that's still coming after you. Tom can point it out at this point. There's like a little bit of black fur at the top of the grass.
Yeah, you would have probably seen me pull out my bow and shoot at it.
Yeah, there's a bow. There's an arrow shot that like grazes right over the top of it, but the arrow doesn't stick. It just kind of like glides right across the top of the back of it.
Okay. Go ahead and 10 feet and ready if it gets into range.
Okay.
A shot,
Does it
you
specify the attack? No, an attack.
Yeah, he'll ready.
Okay.
You're readying a charge or an attack.
Yeah, an attack for if it gets close enough to us.
All right, Shaq Saga.
Where is this thing? Oh, it's back there.
Yep, it's sneaking up at you from the north.
You should probably go around.
Okay.
Not quite in front of people so they can actually, like, aim, but
Okay.
sort of more forward.
All right, and do you want to ready an attack from there? Do you want to ready a charge? What do you want to do? Or go defensive?
What is readying a charge?
So if it moves within 30 feet of you, you would run up to it and attack it.
I think I'll ready a charge.
That is bizarre, man. That is super bizarre. I just got that picture right. Okay, you'll ready a charge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at it.
All right, give me your shot.
I'm doing a rapid shot.
Okay. Not like that, you're not. Whoa.
Man.
That is
Hey, it doesn't affect how fast he shoots. It just affects how garbage he shoots.
Arius.
I'm gonna move 25 feet up to the side and ready a spell.
Okay. What spell are you readying?
Jolt.
Got it. The Crenshaw now has to make a decision. Let's
On
go.
which Ozzy it wants to eat.
Let's go. 1-2 for Shax, 3-4 for Ozzy, and 5-6 for Arius. I could have actually just done D3. I forgot. All right, Shax, you are getting charged. I think it can move that range, right? 60. Yeah, but you are going to charge it when it gets within range. It needs to make a full charge at you, so that's the closest square, the closest hex.
How do you do that, by the way?
The little circle with what looks like a ruler busting out of the center of it will give you the...
snap to center?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
So you are 30 feet, so you'll be able to charge it when it reaches here.
Let me see if I'm close enough.
So I'm going to
Perfect.
move it
Only
in,
10
Michelle, and you may make your charge. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, it's one more square forward. So move your character forward and make your attack.
Okay. Oh.
Nope. That is a miss. It
Great.
moved...
Lovely.
You are its intended target, so it is going to take its charge attack on you back. Does a 14 hit?
No.
All right. It's good. It rolled poultry damage. So, Ozzy.
I like that it's 35 feet away from me, so that's good.
Shax now goes down here.
Guess that I'm going to. Oh,
Was that wasn't jolt range, was it? Just to make sure.
No.
Okay.
I'm too.
Are you charging?
it's like what, a -2 to
Minus
attack or
2 to your
something?
-2 to your defense, +2 to your attack.
Oh.
It's a hit
Oof.
for a solid 6 points of damage.
Means I rolled a 2 on the damage, so that bothers me.
Those things clearly unhappy with that damage. Give it some hit points here. All right, can you guys see its hit points?
102 left. Yeah.
No, do you guys
It's
see the hit
bar.
point bar? Okay, good.
No, I do not see a hit point bar.
The thin green bar. Hang on.
It says Crenshaw.
Okay, yeah, I do see it. It was just next to the other characters.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
remove its.
I didn't know that was it.
I'm gonna remove its nameplate so it's not on top of everybody. 'Cause that was the problem we had the last combat. All right, that's gonna take us to Jack.
Well, I've been missing a bunch, so I'm gonna just do a normal shot. I'm not gonna rapid shot.
Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa, and that is a crit confirmed
Nice.
for obliterate the fucking Crenshaw damage.
Sounds good.
15.
Well, it was 13 damage.
Oh yeah, that's your crit confirmation. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Run. Worked correctly. All right, so the Crenshaw is down.
Guys.
All right. So what were we doing? Cutting open its stomach, see if it has loot.
That's a good idea.
All right, let me double check the Crenshaw. I think these are ones that do. No, its stomach is empty.
Okay.
Over, get your be prepped. All right, and you may continue on.
I'm gonna pick up my arrows.
Yeah, you can salvage half your arrows that missed. I don't want to play the whole roll dice thing, but some of them will break in the ground.
Yeah. So I used 4, so I'll
Yep.
grab 2 back.
Yep. And guys, back to here.
All right. So back to survival and perception.
Yep. Actually, let's take that break we were talking about right now, since Michelle, you're probably gonna have to bolt out for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Who do you want to take control of your character for the time that you're gone? This is just for combat purposes, by the way. This will not be in-town stuff or anything like that, unless it's something minor you need to do for the party. You're Ryan over there. He's really excited.
I honestly don't know.
Does anybody want to volunteer?
I mean, well, aren't you the only person who would have access to the sheet?
I can temporarily give access to the sheet. Or I can play it. Those are your options. What do you want to do? You can't disappear from the party.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with running it.
Then give it to him, I guess.
Alright.
All I ask is that you don't get me killed.
Yeah.
Or
Not
at least
running it.
try to not get me killed.
That's why I'm not
Alright.
running it.
I won't sacrifice you for my character's life.
All right, Tom, you should
Oh,
temporarily be able to see the character sheet.
Let me see.
Fair enough.
In my characters tab?
Yeah, it should be in your characters tab.
Nope, just Jack is there.
All right, try to refresh it. Let me do one other thing here. Hold on.
All right.
Should be... Come on, roll 20. Oh, you piece of shit! You're doing that freeze up thing on me. There we go. All right, see if you see it now.
Well, I'm refreshing. It's taken like a long time. It's doing the entire countdown.
Yeah.
Of 20 seconds or whatever bullshit it does.
I will be getting premium here.
So I'll let you know in a bit.
I'm gonna get going.
All right. Adios. We'll take that break
See
now, and then we'll catch back up in a little bit anyway.
Okay.
All right. Later.
Later.